people there. In Zaire, all those people gathered there. In Zaire, to see the rumble in the jungle there. In Zaire, there came a man called Elijah. In Zaire, with him came the superstar. In Zaire, all those people came from far. In Zaire, to see the rumble in the jungle there. In Zaire. And who was the victor in the night? Elijah Muhammad's boy, Ali won the fight. All those people chanted there. In Zaire, 7 rounds of torture there. In Zaire, one more round and Ali's there. In Zaire, there was great excitement everywhere. In Zaire, the lightning struck twice in the night. First in the ring and then after the fight. In Zaire,
here tonight, and I want to say something to you. We don't want no more fights. We don't want no more upper fight. We don't want no more bloody power games.
is on his way on the MRC to stun ya and to crush ya. I'm innocent to my run ya. Boom boys, you know more toys. Don't push the trigger, I'm the real McCoy. Get down, don't mess around. The run is open, this is my master thesis is what I write. I don't know how, don't ask me why. My throne is here, we need a lead. A bloody ghetto on the MRC. On my bucket is red and shit. You must stop the struggle and get off our dicks. Stupid leaders is what you are. One's politician and one's a star. Your mind shine, but the stage is mine. So cross my liver, don't cross the line. Or I shoot you with my cold blood. Almost, that's what I have got. So funny people wanna get your attention. Cause I got something that I want to mention. You go to school for the education. To be nobody in this fucking population. I'm a rapper, not a dancer. If you've got the question I've got. Suckers, blasters, fellow, follow me, create disaster. On the mic, devastator. Press is hunter, seas dominator. So all your b-boys come out and play. Cause the mic holder is back to stay and play on the Milky Way. From there to Africa, California Bay. Africa, California Bay. Africa, California Bay. Africa, 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 Africa. Stupid facilities against the criminal bar. No dangerous pain under a bullet train. The Mumba killers behind the stage. Goddamn, I'm trapped again. Another crime of Nico's pen. A further murder. This time my brother. A desolate person from a far harbor. It's only a nightmare, but something I have to share with you and you. You're scared of all this and I'm scared too. But my rhymes go on and on and on. That's why I'm so on the microphone. Them blacks, rats, whites or yellow. Here we call us fellas. So funny people wanna get your attention. Cause I got something that I want to mention. You go to school for the education. To be nobody in this fucking population. I'm a rapper, not a dancer. If you've got the question I've got.
is back in town, and you are asking for the man with black skin. But listen to me, cause I'm the medicine. So listen, I'm the grand wizard, and busted cause I'm the new King Lee's I'm back, and you got to stick me in. Listen to my lyrical system, my your sickness. I'm the man for your business. I don't know what's wrong with change, but if you know what I know, you better come out and play. I'll be rapping on the mic for a real long time, getting paid fooling, not rapping to bomb the rhyme. And when it's time to do a show, I never doubt. And I just wanted to know that I'm Peter in Zaire.
Hi, this is Bastiaan, and this is the annotation of the game you just saw me play against the Chessmaster Grandmaster Edition. And we've talked about the system used before. It's the Zaire system, and in the Zaire, black or white develops his pieces and then undevelops them immediately. Single Zaire and a double Zaire for the two knights. And in doing so, black ends up with an undeveloped position that's not easy to attack because there are no real weaknesses. And it's typically used as a training tool to get familiar with cramped positions. However, the system itself can be played, and it can even be played against opponents like Chessmaster. So let's start the game. E4, knight to f6, e5, and the knight develops. So I've wasted two moves. d4, you're seeing white taking control of the center. Knight to c6 for the double Zaire. Knight to c3, knight to b8. White continues development with knight to f3. And now I play d5, challenging the center. White continues with bishop to d3, knight to c6, white castles, knight to h6, knight to f6 is no longer possible. And we can see that it's difficult for white now to find a good attack. So let's say he tries knight to b5, then I can play a6 and the knight has to retreat. So that doesn't seem to work. He can try an exchange, bishop takes knight, but then pawn recaptures, and I get a half open g file for my rook. I can fianchetto if needed. My pawn is doubled, but it is currently protected by the bishop. And I've got a kingside attack going on. For instance, let's say a few random moves. Rook to g8, and now bishop to h3. And this will create weaknesses for white. So it's not that easy to continue play for white. White instead plays knight to e2, and I don't like that move either, because now this knight is only protected by the pawn. Bishop to g4 threatens to double the pawns. And perhaps best now for white would be to play knight to d2 or knight to c3, so to prevent doubling the pawns. But white instead plays c3, activating the queen and protecting the pawn. I grab the knight, pawn recaptures, and this will cause long-term problems for white in the defense of his king. Queen to d7, getting ready to castle queenside. There's a nice outpost on h3 for my queen that I may use perhaps. Rook to e1, castle queenside. Knight to g3, knight to g8, I'm developing the knight for the third time and looking for a pawn storm. Bishop to g5, and now black must be careful. So let's say black plays around the move a6, then the danger is the second bishop, bishop to f5, threatening queen and king. And if e6 blocks now, we can see that our rook is hanging. So we can't afford to play around a move. King to b8 gets the king off of the diagonal and into safety. Bishop to f5, and I can simply retreat my queen. e6 in an attempt to lock in my pawns and pieces. But now black can finally develop. f6, threatening the bishop. Bishop retreats. g6, bishop retreats, and f5. And we can see that the e6 pawn has become overextended. And in some cases, I may play rook to d6 to attack that pawn. Furthermore, the pawn is no longer protected because it is blocked by his own bishop. White plays queen to b3. And now the immediate rook to d6 is a mistake, because white can simply play bishop to f4, protecting the pawn once again and immediately attacking my rook. So I'd like to get rid of this bishop first, and I play bishop to h6. White takes, I recapture, and now white starts a strong attack with bishop to a6. I play b6, but we can see now that weaknesses are created. This knight is no longer protected by a pawn. Bishop to b5 with the discovered attack on the queen. f4, attacking the knight. So I'm ignoring white's attack and instead attacking myself. Queen to a4, making a strong battery. Rook to d6 protects the knight. Knight to e2. g5. c4, threatening c5 to attack the rook. And of course, if the rook moves, I lose the knight. So if I recapture, white can play d5 with an attack on my knight, and I will lose material. If instead I grab the pawn on e6, we notice that once again the e file is blocked. White can play pawn takes pawn and fork both pieces. So there's no saving the position for black, but instead I can continue with my attack. Queen to h5 and sacrificing the knight. So bishop takes knight. I grab a pawn back. Bishop takes pawn, trying to get the queen off of the diagonal. And I grab the bishop with the rook. So I'm down a knight and I'm offering up the exchange. But the rook cannot be captured, simply because if pawn takes rook, I get knight to g4, threatening mate with queen takes f2, and later on h2. So this is a quick forced mate. Instead of capturing the rook, white plays queen to b3, reactivating the queen. So of course we're not going to trade off queens. Queen goes to g4, check. If knight to g3 is played, I can grab it. Pawn recaptures rook. G takes pawn, check. King takes. Rook f8 check. King to e3. Rook f3 check. King to d2. And at the very least I can grab the queen on b3. So that's possible with the knight to g3 move which wasn't played. White instead flees with his king to h1. So I play queen to h4. Now the knight can develop. Again, if pawn takes rook, knight to g4, and I get a quick mate. If, let's say, a3 is played, this is checkmate. Or if h3 is played, I can grab the queen and the mate will follow soon enough. But if the knight gets captured, I can step up with the pawn, again threatening mate. And if queen takes pawn, white loses the queen. Or if rook to g1, we have a mate with queen to h4. So queen and a pawn are already sufficient for the mate, depending on the defense that white chooses. None of that was played. Queen to h4, and now queen to f3. So black is in no real danger of losing the rook immediately. Rook to f5. The rook is now into safety. It's protecting the pawn on f4, and black is planning g4 to chase away the queen. King to g1, g4, and queen to h1. And we can see that the queen now has become very immobile. It's basically like a bishop cornered in one square. So this is probably the weakest square white can place his queen on. Rook to h5, creating a battery. Now the queen is stuck there. Rook to d1, rook to g8, rook to d3. So white is bringing more pieces to the defense, but simply g3, continuing the attack. Pawn takes pawn, pawn recaptures. Of course, now pawn recaptures is no longer possible because of the threat of queen takes queen. Knight takes, rook recaptures, and rook takes. So once again, I'm sacrificing material. I cannot use the battery because of the defense of the queen, but I have a second attack that I can now do, and that is using the diagonals. So queen takes pawn check, king to f1, queen takes pawn check, king to g2, queen to e4 check, rook to f3, rook to g5 check, and we can see that white is going to lose material soon enough. King to f1, rook to f5, and white's rook is lost. King to g1, rook takes rook, queen to g2, queen to d4 check, king to h1, rook to f2, threatening the queen, queen to g3, knight to f5, threatening the queen, queen to g8, king retreats to b7, and white plays queen to g2, sacrificing the queen for a rook. Other options would have been, let's say, a4. We can see mating attacks, check, check, mate, soon enough. So in order to prevent the mate, the queen gets sacrificed. Rook takes, king recaptures rook, queen d2 check, queen e3 check, knight h4 check, queen to d2, locking the king onto the back rank, queen to g2 check, knight f3 check, and queen to d2 checkmate. So that was a game using the double Zaire against the Chessmaster engine. I hope you enjoyed watching it and learned a thing or two about defensive play. Please leave a comment and have a great evening.